Hello, everyone, and it's a pleasure to have here today with me Josh Callan from Veeva. So thank you very much, Josh, for being today with us. So can you tell us what you do at Veeva?
Hi, Manuel. It's a pleasure to be here. So, I am the head of strategy for Southern Europe at Viva. And what that means is that I try to coordinate the teams that serve Viva customers in these regions to help Viva and our customers grow together.
Thank you very much, Josh. You know that I love to speak about AI. You know that I love to speak about how AI is applied in pharma and so on. And of course, you can imagine what is the very first question that I'm about to ask you. You recently launched Veeva AI. So, what is the main difference? What differentiates it from other solutions?
Sure. So, Viva AI is a major initiative by Viva to make AI simple, secure, and compliant for life science companies of all sizes. Our goal is to help these companies improve productivity and automate certain tasks using AI agents and AI shortcuts. That is Viva AI in a nutshell. What makes it different is that it's
Mhm.
built into the core of the life science specific Vault applications. So that means that it understands business rules, it understands prompts, it understands the context. And the other advantage is that I can directly access all Viva application data, documents, and workflows. Right. The second difference is that it's life science specific. As you very well know, Viva is a life sciences dedicated company. So all the AI applications and use cases will be influenced or determined by the functional and compliance needs of life science companies. That's what makes it different.
Yeah, and wherever Viva, I mean, I come from Pharma. I spent years in Lilly, I spent years in Menarini, and I mean, I can tell you from a client perspective, whenever there was something coming from Viva, I was expecting something big, revolutionary. And I was thinking about something that your CEO mentioned that says, okay, the generative AI is something that is a new computing paradigm. And if I think about the launch of Viva AI at this point of time, how do you envision the change that Viva is bringing to the pharma industry?
Well, I think our CEO was right. Gen AI is indeed a new computing paradigm and it will transform how the life science industry works. If you think of traditional software, right? Traditional software operates on specific deterministic instructions. That means that it always produces the same results, right?
Mhm.
But large language models are able to learn and adapt and provide almost human-like answers, right, to very complex situations. At Viva, we will focus on making AI a positive use case for our life science industry. And some of the biggest needs that we see in the industry and that we will try to solve through Viva AI is the automation of tasks and improving employee productivity. How will this change the life science industry? Well, finally, end users will be able to minimize the time spent on data entry and information and be able to access insights a lot faster. What this means is that field teams, so think of MSLs or territory managers or sales reps, will be able to free up time for doing their actual job, right, which is engaging HCPs. And at the same time, we will be able to improve the end user experience of all the reps and MSLs that are using our CRM daily. Finally, it will facilitate content personalization, right? Because our agents like CRM bot will be able to recommend not only actions, but also content. What we hope is that this will lead to an improvement in the quality of HCP engagement, as well as the aforementioned productivity boost. I said.
Yeah, yeah, I see. I mean, when it comes to hyper personalization and also the time saving, I remember it in my previous role, it was a big thing because we have been always saying right time, right content, right channel, very good in theory, but when it, you have to actually make it in practice, that's another story.
Very much.
So. And you mentioned that the solution is very well, let's say, embedded into the Viva ecosystem. And you mentioned also AI agents. That's also one of the topic close to my heart, let's say like that. Can you make some example, some practical example of this integration? Because I was thinking about my life when I was daily working. I can tell you on Viva CRM, Promomat, and all the Viva ecosystem. And of course, back 2 years ago, there were not AI agents in it. So I'm curious to imagine, some practical example. Make me dream.
Sure, absolutely. I think that AI sometimes is a lot of slides, but it's very difficult to execute. It's very difficult to scale, right? As you said, Veeva AI will be deeply embedded into Veeva's core applications. That means that it will understand your application-specific context, prompts, safeguards, right? And as I said before, it'll be
Mhm.
able to access directly and securely Veeva data, documents, and workflows. We will be able to make this possible through our direct data API, right, which is a new class of API enabling very high speed access to data for AI applications. So we'll be able to feed those agents with data in real time almost. And so to give you an example of how this could end up looking like, so you've heard about CRM bot probably. This is our flagship AI agent that will be launching in December this year. You could imagine
Mhm.
a field team person, right, or a sales representative or an MSL preparing for a call or for a visit with the HCP where the MSL or the territory manager will ask the CRM bot what is the best content for a visit, for example, or to give
That's
them a
cool.
summary of the preferences of the HCP. It could be that they are asking the CRM bot to recommend certain action or who should be
Mhm.
involved in the visit. All of this are actions that the CRM bot will be able to take, and they will
Cool.
dramatically improve the experience of the CRM user and also the quality of the HCP engagement.
That's very cool. So something like, if I got it correctly, I'm a sales rep, for example, and I want to prepare the call with my HCP, so I can also interact with the agent and ask some recommendations, something like this in terms of content, in terms of a message, something like this, if I got it correctly, or
That's it. That's exactly right. And it will not only be reactive, but also
Mhm.
proactive. So you will be able to set it up to give you a reminder, for example, of when you haven't visited certain HCP with certain content. It will proactively also suggest some actions or some mm, content recommendations. So that
That's
is what
cool.
another key differentiator. You will be able to take actions based on the CRM bot, right? So if you think of ChatGPT, for example, it can give you a lot of information, but you cannot really schedule a call, right, through
Yeah,
ChatGPT. So the rep will be able to do that. So instead of getting the information they need from the CRM bot and then having to go to another tab to plan the call or to schedule a visit, the CRM bot will provide those shortcuts to be able to take those actions directly.
yeah, that's cool. Josh, you mentioned ChatGPT, for example, and of course, one of the concerns that I hear from some of my clients, of course, is that these LLMs may hallucinate and or may have some problems in terms of the so-called black boxes. So we don't know how the outcome is coming from where the outcome is coming from. So from the transparency and so on. So when it comes to, let's say, the compliance, the reliability,
Mm.
the safeguards and so on. So how do you manage this aspect with the Viva AI?
Very valid question. The concern of the black box is a real one, and we address it through three key pillars. So the first one is strict data grounding. So we will use dynamic grounding and advanced prompt engineering to lock the responses of our AI agents exclusively to a company's approved and permission data and content. This will be able to prevent hallucinations. Our second pillar is continuous quality and auditing. What this means essentially is that we will use evaluation methodologies to ensure that the output that the AI agents give back to the industry is accurate and high quality. And then if customers want to audit the response of the CRM agents, for example, we are providing customers with built-in observability tools. And last but not least, there will also be obviously some built-in safety filters, right? So we will use content filtering to prevent toxic or non-compliant responses from ever reaching the user at all.
Yeah. That's being on one side cool, but also very important to make it safe. And then we were speaking about fears, the fear of safety. I mean, the fear of not being safe coming to the need of safety, let's say. The other thing is related to the privacy. The other big concern that I keep hearing is, okay, how do I keep protected my data? Because way better than me how important is the data. So how this solution, let's say, keep data privacy, security as a priority? I mean, how do you manage this aspect?
So the key to managing this aspect is our bring your own LLM model. Well, this means that Veeva AI will plug directly into an LLM that the customer will manage. Right? And what this means is that they will be running that LLM within their own secure cloud environment. Right? So you can think of Amazon Bedrock or Vertex AI by Google. Right? This means that the data that is sent to the LLM is managed by the customer, which keeps it completely siloed, and they are able to retain full control over all data processing and security.
So I am the customer, I have my own model, for example, I plug it to Veeva AI, and then I use it. So basically, if my model that I am already using is secure, then I'm fine, basically, something like this.
Exactly, because in order for you to run your own LLM, you will need to run it with your own secure cloud environment.
Got it.
It will be, and there's a second benefit to this approach, by the way, which is flexibility. Right? Veeva does not want to lock in our customers into an LLM that Veeva chooses. So you can choose the right LLM for the right job, whether that's based on performance, on your cost drivers, or compliance needs in a specific region. So we think that also provides a great advantage for customers.
Yeah, and I fully agree with this. I mean, because linking to a specific model, I think it would be risky, because first of all, these models are changing every time. We have DeepSeek that was beating GPT. Then after 1 week, you have Google. After another week, you have Amazon. So, and having adopted this approach, I think is a very smart move. Also for the customers, because you allow them to plug and play. We follow the same approach also for one of our solution, because we didn't want to have, let's say, this kind of let's say linkage with one single model. So yeah, I fully agree. There is another thing that I wanted to ask you, Josh, in terms of adoption, in terms of change management, and so on. So I am an AI enthusiast. So if you propose to me something around the AI, of course, it is very likely that at least I'm going to test it. But when it comes to the pharmaceutical market, medtech market, and so on, I know that market is very diverse. So what are the challenges in terms of, let's say, starting using this new approach that you would anticipate in terms of change management? So how do you see it?
That's a great question. So you touch upon one of the challenges, that is change management, for sure. We also see two other key challenges among our customers. The first one, and most serious one maybe, is a lack of strategic vision. Right? And this stems from a tech-first mindset. We see a lot of executive leaders that want to implement AI just for the sake of implementing AI, because everybody's talking about it. It's a hot topic, right? The risk is that is not aligned with business priorities, and results in unfocused investments. Right?
Yeah.
The second challenge that we see is the data foundation. Right? So everybody wants to implement AI, but it's very difficult for AI to produce good results without a strong data foundation because it will produce unreliable insights and then it will be impossible to scale to other affiliates, other teams, right?
The good old the garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly, the good old garbage in, garbage out. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah.
you got it. Yeah. And then the last one is the, as you said, the failure to plan for change management, right? So you cannot throw something like an AI agent over a fence to the field team and expect that adoption will skyrocket. Right? It is a profound change that capability shifts demand. Companies overcome these challenges is through a mix of technology and processes, right? So, for example, through technology, we're able to have all our data applications and processes within a single platform, which is the Evolve platform. Now, this obviously makes AI a lot easier to scale because there's a single, for example, 360-degree view of the customer, and marketing doesn't have their own data set that is challenging maybe the data set of sales or medical, right? And then for change management or for to align the strategic vision with our AI projects, we have our business consulting team who has plenty of experience advising customers in this topic.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much, Josh. I have one last question before I let you go. That is about the AI partner program. So there is this thing that makes me very curious. So the question that I have is how Viva AI work with the partners. So I would go straight to the point. So can you tell me a little bit more? How does it work?
Sure. So the AI Power Program is a key part of Viva's Gen AI strategy, and it's basically a network of proven partners that Viva provides technology and support to. Right, the technology and support that we provide to these partners, right, are for them to be able to integrate their own solutions seamlessly with the Vault platform applications. Right. So again, with flexibility as one of our key priorities, we want to enable customers to work with different AI applications. And for that, we need to make sure that our own applications are able to work seamlessly with those that the partner may create. On top of that, the AI Partner Program includes a lot of training. So we are able to train partners on the Vault Data API. We also provide sandboxes to develop, test, and support partner applications.
So thank you very much, Josh. It was a pleasure having you here. One last thing for those who are watching this video, if you have question for me or for Josh, feel free to put the question in the comment section and tag us. We will be more than happy to answer your question. And again, Josh, thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Looking forward to our next interaction.
Thank you very much for having us, Manuel. It was a pleasure to be here with you today.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.